Hello, guys. Welcome to Outside the Brand. This is your AEW Dynamite 200 post show for August 2nd, 2023. I'm your host, Phil, and of course, this is Outside the Brand. Thank you so much for joining us right here on your Wednesday nights, wherever you may be. Not only that, guys, not only did Dynamite celebrate 200 episodes tonight, but this is actually episode 400 of the podcast, that are unofficial episode 400. If you know, and if you've been here for a little while, you know why. It's the unofficial, but technically official episode 400 of the podcast. But I got my guy TJ here with me today for this episode, and man, oh man, did Tony Khan cook up a fantastic episode of
I
AEW
take back
Dynamite
everything I
tonight,
said
man.
about that man.
Huh?
Take it all back.
You take it all back? You take it all back? Oh man, what a show tonight, man. I mean, seriously, from top to bottom, we saw great video packages about the obviously they're celebrating 200 episodes tonight. So they showed moments from major moments from all the other episodes of AEW Dynamite tonight. We saw the inner circle get formed. We saw, champions get crowned and everything like that. Man, it was just an awesome way to commemorate 200 episodes of Dynamite tonight, especially with that main event where we have a new AEW Women's World Champion in Hikaru Shida, which shocked the fuck out of me. I did not expect that by any means. But we saw two championship matches headline the show tonight, as well as an anything goes triple threat / three-way match, whatever they really want to call it over there in AEW, and a tag team match with Konosuke and Jericho versus Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara, where we saw some great action tonight, man. I mean, there really isn't anything to complain about the show tonight.
Not at all. It I said it to you before we
And I didn't
started.
even say anything about MJF and Adam Cole. I mean, that was
Oh, facts, facts. That itself, that whole
yeah.
segment is money. And I said it to you before we started. As of right now, as of us live right now, Wednesday night, because SmackDown hasn't happened yet, so I don't need people saying, but. Tonight's episode of Dynamite is my show of the week. And this comes from a man who just came from Monday Night Raw in person.
Yeah.
So you would think I have a little bias towards that since I was there live. But no. Dynamite tonight is the best show of the week so far. NXT was
Yeah,
a
no.
close second.
Yeah, this was a great show tonight. Um you can tell obviously with the way that AEW has been run over the course of I'd say within the last month and a half, maybe even 2 months, with the addition of AEW Collision. And I want to talk about AEW Collision real quick because you can tell by just we've only had 7 episodes of AEW Collision so far. And you can tell based on what has been happening over there on AEW Collision versus what happens here on AEW Dynamite. They're two completely different shows. And you know that to be a fact, considering that obviously with the brand split or whatever you really want to call it over there in AEW, there is a lot of things going on within both shows, and the shows feel different, not only just because of the different names, not only just because of the different atmospheres that those shows bring, but because of just the overall feel of how everything is going down and being run over there in AEW. Collision feels like a totally different show each and every single week, and Dynamite is their flagship show. No pun intended when it comes to like the Raw and SmackDown type of deal, but it really is a different feel every time you watch week in and week out.
Facts. Tony Khan is. I think at some point he changed his game plan up a bit. It was slight, but enough for you to notice like something is changing about the product, but not in a bad way. I mean, I could still use more women's wrestling, but
Yes.
we're slowly getting there.
Yeah, but I mean that's gonna be, and that's not even AEW. That's not even just AEW. That's across everybody. Okay, I listen. That is across everybody here. I'm even talking about WWE here. If I wasn't talking about WWE, and if I'm not talking about AEW, where would we be? We like it's across all platforms, all different promotions. We need something better for women's wrestling, and that's just a complete fact there. But um, at the end of the day, this is a great show. AEW Dynamite, fantastic, celebrating 200 episodes. Here's to 200 more. Here's to way more than that. I mean, I want this to be like a long term and long run type of deal. Um, a huge thing that happened earlier on today, man, and I want to talk about this real quick before we get into everything, before we get into the spiel of like, sponsors and everything like that. Tony Khan has officially re-signed the Elite. Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam and Page, the Young Bucks are officially back within AEW. They never really technically left. They just signed extensions to the company. Is this, and I mean, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, especially with everybody here in the chat. Is this a good deal for everybody involved in AEW? Is this a good deal for Kenny, Hangman, the Bucks? Where do you stand with all of this? Because I know whatever side of the spectrum you're on when it comes to the whole CM Punk versus Elite situation, is this a good idea and the good identity of AEW staying intact with Elite staying in the company? What are your thoughts on the Elite resigning with AEW?
So I know over the past few months, we as wrestling fans have said that we want the Elite to sign with WWE because we want to see those matches, right? The more I think about it, what we want is a forbidden door. We don't want them to sign with WWE because we know what comes with that. You start off hot, and then eventually you're feuding with the Miz about how your balls are bigger than his. So this is an elite, pun intended, re-signing by Tony Khan and AEW. They said it on commentary tonight after they announced it. The elite and all elite wrestling is here to stay.
Yeah.
It would feel weird without them. That little bit of time after the suspensions went out that we didn't have the elite on our TV, that shit felt weird. We
Yeah.
all know it
Yeah.
did. There's no denying it.
Right.
But now that they're back and my screen is frozen again for some reason, it feels normal. So I'm glad the elite re-signed, and hopefully in the future, Tony Khan and Triple H can fucking nut up and give us a proper Forbidden Door. And then,
Yeah.
because imagine fucking Seth Rollins versus Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada. I would cream
Yeah,
my
no.
pants
For
as soon as it
for
was announced.
for whatever reason, I know that I would personally, and this is just me personally. Of course, obviously, Kenny Omega versus Seth Rollins would be fantastic, but I just have a sneaky feeling that if Seth Rollins and Hangman Page went at it 1-on-1 in the ring, I think it would be just a fucking banger.
Mm.
I think it really would. And not only that, when it comes to Hangman Adam and Page, give me somebody like a Drew McIntyre to get in there with him, and they would fucking tear the house down. There are so many things that I would
Oh.
want to see when it comes to the Elite versus WWE, whatever way you want to call it. But at the end of the day, I do think this is a good W for AEW because if you lose your foundation, then the house could burn down quickly. And whether anybody likes the Elite or not, they are essential pieces to the puzzle that is AEW. Without the Elite, AEW is not existing. So, good on TK, good on the Elite. Signing within AEW is the best possible decision for them, and I couldn't be more proud of those guys.
Mm. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Another thing that
Mhm.
happened in the world of pro wrestling over the course of the last few days, considering I haven't talked to you guys on OTP in quite some time since the Great American Bash, Cody Rhodes' documentary came out. And Cody Rhodes' documentary, I know this is a WWE type of deal, but he was in AEW, and they talked about AEW a lot, and they showed the Elite stuff in the documentary. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there was a big quote. Now, people blew way out of proportion, I feel, in that documentary about Triple H calling AEW a secondary promotion. How did you feel when you watched the documentary and you heard that line coming from Triple H? Because I think people just blow that shit way out of proportion, and obviously the dirt sheets, they just continue to, just rack up those clicks and everything like that. When it comes to that headline, Triple H can say whatever the hell he wants, because what the hell does he have to lose? I
Yeah.
really don't think that a
Also,
secondary promotion would ever sell out Wembley Stadium with over 70,000 tickets.
also, do people seem to forget what the word secondary means? Because last
It's
time I checked, AEW is not owned by WWE, right? So
no.
why wouldn't WWE call AEW secondary? That would be like you with OTB. You own OTB. If we were doing a video and you were talking about off the top, Shadow and the Boys, their podcast, you would call it a secondary podcast because it's not your podcast. Secondary just means it is not the primary. If I am Triple H and I am the CCO of WWE, to me, that is the primary because it's where I work. It is my primary focus, my
Yeah.
primary company. Any
Yeah.
other company is secondary. Also, what the fuck does it matter? At the end of the day, they're still making millions. They're still putting on banger wrestling shows. We're still gonna fucking watch.
Yeah.
What the fuck
Yeah.
does it matter?
Look, at the end of the day, first of all, Triple H can say anything that whatever the fuck he wants because this is, obviously, he has his own opinions, he has his own thoughts about what AEW is, and whether anybody likes it or not, AEW is competition to WWE. So, I mean, at the end of the day, whether you want to call it secondary or whether you want to call it, you can call it whatever the fuck you want. At the end of the day, it is competition to WWE, and I think WWE actually does recognize that without even trying to, quote unquote, say that they're competition. So it's just whatever, whatever happens, happens. But I think everybody just blew that out of proportion, and it really wasn't meant to go in the direction that it did. But you
Plus,
know how
all he did was
WWE
say
fans and everything
exactly
say.
what Cody said. All he did was
Yeah.
add one extra word. Cody literally said, I can't see myself. He said, I can't put that title on my father in this company. Triple
Yeah.
H said the exact same fucking thing, but just added the word secondary. And y'all are losing your shit about it?
And here's the thing, people. Here's the thing. And I saw somebody say this on another show that I was watching earlier on this week when I watched a documentary. If Cody Rhodes, if Cody Rhodes won the AEW World Championship, then came to WWE after it was all said and done, and Cody Rhodes said on that fateful night on that Raw after WrestleMania when he debuted, saying that I want to win the WWE Championship because that is the championship my father never held, and that is going to be my first ever World Championship. You just completely disregarded everything that you did in AEW and just said, nah, the AEW title don't mean shit. So of course he was not going to win the AEW Championship, and of course he was not like going to do that. Kunis is a very calculated man, and he knows what he is doing. So there were a lot of reasons why he left AEW. He said it was a personal reason in that documentary. Like I said, if you guys have not watched that, go check it out. It is a 10 out of 10. But it was not meant to be as serious as people made it out to be. And, at the end of the day, it was, just taken out of, wrestling fans love to make things the way it really isn't at times. So, guys, we'll talk about those things later. I will actually have a full video on what I thought about the Cody Rhodes documentary very, very soon. I'm still trying to get everything together when it comes to that because that documentary is way more than just a 3-minute video for TikTok. So I will definitely talk more in depth when it comes to that when it comes to that, because honestly, you honestly kind of have to watch those kinds of things in multiple takes, not just a one-time deal, and then you can just go off and just talk about it. Nah, you gotta watch that over again to make sure you didn't miss anything, because there's just so many great things in that doc. So, we'll do that when that is all said and done. But let's talk about AEW Dynamite tonight, guys, because Dynamite was fantastic, and it's definitely deserving of talking to. So, guys, before we do, thank you guys so much for all the love and support as of late. I have been out of it the last couple of days. That's why you did not get to see a Monday Night Raw post show. Obviously, I was watching the Cody doc. I felt like the Cody doc was way more important than an episode of Monday Night Raw. I know some people thought it was a good episode of Monday Night Raw, but I thought the Cody doc was a lot more important to me. So I did that instead of watching Monday Night Raw. Will you see a Friday Night SmackDown post show? We will see, because I might be going to, a family's house on Friday. And it's kind of you up in the air right now. But if you do get a Friday Night SmackDown post show, you get it. If not, oh well. But you will. Here's the thing about Collision, and I'm glad Corbin said it, because because here's the thing. I am not watching Collision on Saturday, because Saturday is also SummerSlam. We will be doing a SummerSlam review on Saturday, and then Collision will be on Sunday. I will do a Collision post show on Sunday, that day after, because Collision also has our Real World's Championship match between Ricky Starks and CM Punk, and I don't want to miss that. So we will do the Collision post show on Sunday. Saturday is SummerSlam. You don't want to miss that. So I'm not going to. But yeah. So thank you, Corbin, for at least mentioning Collision, because if you didn't, I probably wouldn't have even fucking noticed, and we probably wouldn't have even had a Collision post show. So that'll be on Sunday. Saturday will be SummerSlam. You're good to go on that. And considering SummerSlam is on Saturday, either Saturday afternoon we'll do predictions, or Thursday. It depends on what they do for Friday night, dude. Is there anything else that we're going to be adding on to SummerSlam? Probably not, right?
They gotta put the women's match back on there, because they revealed it earlier. Trish and Becky was scheduled for SummerSlam before it got cut.
It's not. It's going to be on. It's going to be on that Raw in Toronto.
They gotta fix that. It's not even Toronto though. That's the thing. It's Winnipeg.
Well,
fucking Winnipeg.
Well,
nobody gives a fuck about Winnipeg. No offense to people who live in Winnipeg. I just mean, like, in a wrestling sense,
and
nobody gives a fuck about Winnipeg.
They're not going to add Rhea and Raquel. And they're not going to add Rhea and Raquel because what do they have? A 2-week build. Who cares? Who cares? It's in the name. I'd rather have that at Payback. I'd rather have that at Payback, because Raquel is going to get payback after what Rhea did to Liv. It's in the name. And honestly, to me, I could give two shits if Trish and Becky were at SummerSlam or not. And I know that might be a little bit of a hot take, but I honestly don't care. Less is more when it comes to these SummerSlam cards. A lot of people say that we are missing out on these great matches. The United States Championships not going to be on the line at SummerSlam. Trish and Becky not going to be happening at SummerSlam. Guys, what did Triple H do during the TakeOver days? He had 5 matches on the card, mostly every single TakeOver, and we wanted more. Now we're going to be complaining about, having, a very, very good SummerSlam card of 8 matches?
Yes, but here's the reason why. You have a whole hour-long pre-show with nothing on it besides them talking. This Battle Royal, which we know no one's going to fucking care about if LA Knight doesn't win. That could be on the kickoff, and you could have Trish and Becky do a 15-20-minute match in that spot, because that's how long the fucking Battle Royal is going to take. And the people out there watching this are going to tell me, well, Trish and Becky don't deserve 15-20 minutes. Why? You think Trish can't still go? She proved that she can. We could have Trish and Becky in that Battle Royal spot and move the Battle Royal to the kickoff easily. I feel like they still might do it. So I'm holding off judgment until 7 p.m. Central Saturday night when the pay-per-view main card starts. Because we still got 2 whole days for some shit to happen. And the way Trish and Becky are going off about this shit on social media, I said it earlier. If WWE didn't want them doing that, they would have talked to them and be like, hey, we get that you're upset, but you got to pull this shit back. I don't think they would have let them keep this shit up because we know how WWE is about the fucking social media presence. So I feel like some shit still might happen within these next 2 days.
All I know is that you're not going to rush Rhea Ripley having a match with Raquel because it was a 2 week
Facts.
build without any type of feud. Okay? Raquel and
Oh, and
Rhea,
you know what else I noticed
that was not happening.
on the match card that we saw? When you look at the battle royal, it looks different from the others because it has that Slim Jim branding. They usually put the branding type matches on the kickoff. Otherwise, it would have had the same font as the other
No, they
shit.
don't. No, they don't. Not over the last couple of months. No, because what happened with the Bray Wyatt match at the Rumble? That was on the main card.
Don't
What
even
happened
remind me
with
about
what
that.
happened with the WrestleMania stuff? That was on the main card for
Well,
branded
those
stuff.
weren't branded though. Those are
Yes,
just
they
tag
were.
team matches.
The WrestleMania, the Rumble one was branded.
Yeah, the Rumble. I'm
That
talking
was
about
the Mountain Dew
Mania.
Pitch Black.
No, I'm talking about Mania.
It was still branded, bro.
What Mania stuff was branded?
I felt like at least one thing was branded, or at least they,
No,
advertised one. They advertised one thing for one of the matches. I don't know
no.
what it was, but it wasn't like a branded match. But regardless, whatever branded stuff that they had, it was on the main card for most of the stuff that they had.
Yeah, but that's
The
a
Bray
singles
Wyatt,
match, not a
the Bray
battle
Wyatt Pitch
royal.
Black stuff was branded, and it was on the main card.
Okay, but when's the last time you saw a battle royal on a main card
The
at one of
pizza,
the big four?
there you go. The Pizza Hut Battle Royale. That was on the main
At
card of whatever
Mania?
that was.
There was a battle royal at Mania?
Not Mania, but there was a Pizza Hut thing for Ray versus Dom. And
No, he said a Pizza Hut.
there was a Pizza Hut Battle Royale on SmackDown, and then Ray versus Dom was something.
Okay, if you're talking about on SmackDown, that's not a pay per view. And if Ray versus Don was branded, that's different. It has a full fucking story. There's no one cared about the branding.
It's still a fucking branded match, dude. You just said it was.
But again, it is a singles match. I'm talking about battle royals. When have they put a branded battle royal on a main show? Because you telling me people are going to care about the fucking battle royal? They know no one's going to care about it.
That's
Right,
right.
I remember that now. Because they had that big ass fucking mascot ringside.
That's right. Ray and Dom listened to him in Toast Crunch. But regardless,
I still don't get that.
I think
threw me
less
off.
is more when it comes to these SummerSlam cards. You do not want to. I do not want to be sitting there for 4.5, 5 hours.
Well,
because
it
we
wouldn't
already
be.
get that
'Cause
enough with
I agree
AEW.
with you. Rhea and
We already
Raquel
get that enough with
shouldn't fucking
AEW.
be on here. I just think they should move the battle royal to the kickoff and then put Trish and Becky in that battle royal spot. It's the same amount of time. It doesn't change shit except for where the battle royal goes.
I haven't given two shits about this Becky and Trish feud since the last month or so. I haven't.
Yeah,
And that
so
might
then why
just be
not
me.
get it out of the way now? You think we're going to care about it in 2 weeks? It's not even the Monday after SummerSlam. It's the next Monday. No one's going to fucking care about it then. So just get it over with now.
Nobody cares about it now. What has it done for Becky? What has it done for Trish? What has it done for Zoe Stark? It has done nothing. So this feud means nothing, which is why it's not on the card. You can't tell me that it means anything, because it hasn't. Over the last few weeks,
It
it has
means
not
more
meant
than
shit.
this fucking battle royal. This battle royal was literally thrown together last
more than
minute.
LA Knight. It means more than
LA Knight should be in a singles match. He should be fighting for the title at SummerSlam.
That's why
There's no
in this battle royal,
the
bro.
U.S. title isn't even being defended at the pay-per-view because of fucking U.S. title opportunity battle royal. That makes no fucking sense.
I know it doesn't, bro, but LA
If your champion isn't good enough to have their title defended at the pay-per-view, why do I care about a number one contender battle royal for their championship?
LA Knight is not going to be left off this card again. He was left off of WrestleMania. He did not win Money in the Bank. The man is not going to be missing out on SummerSlam. And if this man if he does not win this Battle Royal, I am going to be fucking pissed on SummerSlam Saturday.
If he doesn't win this Battle Royal, when we come on here for SummerSlam night, I want you to look in this camera and say, TJ was right. It should have been on the kickoff and have Becky and Trish there. Because then at least we would have an ending to something.
Let me see the Becky and Trish match on that Monday. Because if I don't, because
if that shit is a banger in Winnipeg, if that match is a fucking banger in Winnipeg, Triple H, you bald bitch, you are gonna get your ass kicked for keeping that from us.
And if it sucks on that Monday, I will still come on the Monday Night Raw post show after that show, and I'll say that the Battle Royal should have stayed there, and this definitely should have stayed on Monday Night Raw.
Why are we freaky frogs? What did we do? We didn't even say anything horny. How are we freaky frogs?
What did we say?
We didn't even do nothing.
I didn't say it. I didn't say that.
Look what he said. Prodigy, shut the fuck up. Shut the.
I think
but also,
might have said that,
Phil,
but...
if that match sucks, that scares me because we're talking about one Hall of Famer and a potential Hall of Famer. If that match sucks, I am scared for all women's wrestling.
Listen, we have seen some matches of this caliber suck before, bro. Don't tell me that's a lie. Don't tell me that's a lie, because you know that could be true. You know that has been true over, like...
I hate to say it, but if it does, I'm blaming Zoe Stark. Just because I can't bring myself to blame Trish for that. Because then I would have to admit that Trish apparently has lost herself, and I just don't believe that. So if it sucks, Zoe Stark, I'm sorry, it's your fault. Even if you're not... Oh, wait, he barred her from ringside. I'm still going to blame her. I'm still going to blame her if it sucks.
Point is, I think less is more. 8 matches is a perfect matchup here. And at the end of the day, when it comes to all these 8 matches, I don't want any other matches to get lost in the shuffle. That's another reason why I think that these matches not on the card is a good idea. Because if you lose matches on the card and there's just too many matches, a lot can get lost in the shuffle and nobody will care the day after. But that's another story for a different day. We'll get there when we get there. Hopefully Friday we see something, and if not, it is what it is. But guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us right here on OTB. I know this is an AEW post show, and we just went like maybe 20 minutes talking about SummerSlam, but it is a big deal. So we did. We don't give a shit. If we're passionate about something, we're passionate. If we're passionate about something, we're passionate, and we're going to be talking about it. So, guys, hit the like button, turn on the bell for all notifications. As you hit that subscribe button, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Join us for the SummerSlam post show that will be happening on Saturday after the show is off the air. Friday Night SmackDown post show will happen on Friday, and the Collision post show will happen on Sunday. Follow me on social media. All the TikTok links are down in the description below. You guys can follow me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at @PhillyMatt_. TJ Gatsby is basically TJ Gatsby everywhere, but where can they find you?
If you want to do it the easier way, then of course I have a link tree that has not only mine but the main event players stuff as well, and of course that is that right there.
There you go.
Linktr.ee/TJ Gatsby.
Linktr.ee.
Linktr.ee.
But guys, thank you guys for all the love and support that you have been showing over the course of the last few weeks here on the channel. Go get the merch. Teespring is the official home of OTB and its merchandise. You also can go get mine and Lost merch provided down below in the description. You guys can also go down to the affiliate link for WWE Shop. It is my personal affiliate link, but anything that I get from the revenue and commission that you guys get when it comes to WWE Shop, I put it right back into the channel. That way, we can create content like this for you guys. And, we also have our today's sponsor, which is SeatGeek. an official application you can get on your phone where you guys can save money when you use SeatGeek. It basically brings all the tickets from all different types of websites into one platform. That way you guys know you're getting the best deal. And when you use the code OTB at checkout, you get $20 off your first purchase using SeatGeek. So it's a win-win for everybody involved. You get to save some money, you guys get to help OTB, and you guys get to save some money on tickets when you go to a WWE show, an AEW show, a football season's around the corner. I think the Hall of Fame game's like what? I think the Hall of Fame game's tomorrow, isn't it? Like at least
Sunday.
one of these Thursdays.
It's either Thursday or Sunday. I think it's Sunday. I'm pretty sure it's
well,
Sunday.
either way, it's this week. So either way, it's this week. If you're going to a Hall of Fame game, I think it's like the Jets and the. I got no idea who it is. But I
Also,
know
if you're
Aaron
going to the
Rodgers
Hall
is
of
in
Fame
there,
game,
so-
first of all, you definitely need to be buying our merch if you can afford to go to that fucking game, even with SeatGeek.
Yeah, I know.
Because
Yeah, no.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm actually just gonna look it up right now because I mean, hell,
I think it's
it is
Jets
the
and
Jets
Browns?
versus the Browns. That is
disgusting.
Wow.
No one's gonna watch that shit.
That is wow.
So
Thursday,
honestly,
August 3rd. So yeah, tomorrow. So it's tomorrow.
Yeah. Y'all should watch Impact instead. At least that'll be entertaining.
So if you want to watch Impact, go ahead.
And you can use SeatGeek for that also.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can use with SeatGeek. So save yourself some money. OTB at checkout gets $20 off your first purchase, and it's a win-win for everybody involved. Thank you, SeatGeek, for being a part of our family. We know you love being a part of ours, and we love being a part of yours. So thank you for sponsoring today's episode right here on OTB. All right, guys, let's get right into AEW Dynamite tonight, guys. We were here in Tampa, Florida tonight at the at the Yuengling Center in Tampa, and we kicked things off tonight with the tag team match of Chris Jericho and Konosuke Takeshita with that piece of shit Don Callis. He's a piece of shit. What do you want me to say?
You know how WWE introduces like Seth freaking Rollins, Big Bronson Reed? I need that to be like Don Callis' piece of shit, Don Callis.
Please welcome that piece of
shit,
Don Callis.
I need that, please. Oh shit. I need that.
You want to know why I say that now every time? Because of JR. JR said that once on commentary, and I was like, dude, I'm taking that. I'm stealing that.
Piece of shit, Don Callis. Josh, you should watch Impact. Even if it's not for the awesome wrestling they have,
it's actually really
Trinity's
good.
on there. Trinity's on there, and she's fine as fuck. And she's the Knockouts World Champion.
And she's the women's. She's the Knockouts champion over there, so it's great.
Yeah, that's two different reasons right there. She's fine as fuck. She's a Knockouts World Champion.
Nick Aldis isn't there anymore because his contract right now, and he chose not to resign. But Nick Aldis is great. So I just wanted to say that.
If they losing on Saturday, give me Nick Aldis dethroning Roman. I don't care if it doesn't make sense. I just want it. If Jay loses. The more I say it, it makes even less sense. Really good, it would. It's just the more I say it, the less sense it makes story-wise, but I don't care.
So this is gonna be a great match to go over. So we had Jericho and Konosuke versus Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. This was good. This was a good match to kick off Dynamite, man. I honestly thought that they were probably going to kick off this match, considering Jericho was a huge point and like a huge prospect of like the first ever AEW Dynamite. He had that, I believe it was a 6-man tag team match that he had on the first ever episode of Dynamite. It was, yes. It was Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz versus the Young Bucks and Kenny on the first episode of Dynamite at the Capital One Arena. And
wasn't that in DC?
Yeah, at the Capital One Arena in DC. Yeah. So
Mm.
so yeah, wherever Santana and Ortiz are, I hope that they are doing okay. I know that they're actually not on good terms with each other, and I know that to be a fact. I know that they're not they're not cool with each other anymore for whatever reason, whatever happened. I don't know that, but
You talking real
uh
life or work?
like real life shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Oh oh
they're not good with each other anymore. So whatever happened
oh.
happened. Um so I
Well, shit.
all I know is that I don't know really any of the other details. All I know is that.
I
So
had to ask if it
uh
was work or shoot, brother. I just couldn't tell.
so we had that. It was Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz, which was basically the inner circle. The inner circle formed on the first ever episode of Dynamite. And they took on the Elite in that 6-man tag team match. Um, so now with Don Callis, trying to get Jericho into the fold for the Don Callis family, this was something to work at here. Um, but pretty good tag team match to kick off the show, man. What'd you think about it?
And that was really good. Because they're playing two different games right now.
Yeah.
One of which is the Sammy and DG eventual turn. 1 second, I can't say his name without not doing it. It's like saying LA Knight. You gotta say yeah afterwards. You gotta yeah.
You gotta do the
But yeah,
dance.
the Sammy and DG turn, and then Jericho's turn also, because he still seems conflicted. But after what happened tonight, like he's leaning towards the Callis family, which I like what they're doing. It feels like they're making a modern day Heenan family, and Jericho is playing that like
I was thinking the
veteran role
exact
in the
same thing
group.
with Bobby. I was
Because
thinking
the
the
way they kept
exact
saying
same
the
thing with
Don
Bobby.
Callis family, I'm like, ooh,
I was
hmm.
thinking the exact same thing with Bobby the Brain Heenan. Um, so I mean, this is really good, and I like the overall pairing of Jericho and Don Callis. I do. It's not only just because of the history that they have with each other, but Don Callis and Chris Jericho, that just fits to me. So I'm liking
I'm
what they're
gonna get
doing,
hate for this, but I don't give
and
a fuck. You know what the parallel is to me? Because Don, I'm not even gonna say names. I'm just gonna say what it is, and you're gonna figure it out. A world-renowned world champion has a Hall of Fame manager. That manager leaves him for another Hall of Fame level world champion. Tell me this isn't Heyman leaving Brock for Roman,
yeah.
Don leaving Kenny for Jericho.
Well,
Come
here's the
on.
thing. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. To me, and again, this might be a little bit of a hot take here, but Don Callis is AEW's version of Paul Heyman.
Thank you,
He
thank
has
you,
been,
thank you.
and, and he has been for the majority of the time that he's been here in AEW. I mean, it's really not out of the realm of possibility
What
here that
about Bobby
that's
Heenan?
really
Screw
a
him, he's dead.
thing here,
I
dude.
was like,
Well,
oh,
first of all,
what?
I honestly think I
Heenan would say the same
I
shit. Let's be
fully
honest.
believe I fully believe. Now, when he said that, well, first of all, I think that he has all the respect in the world for Bobby Heenan and his family. I think that was fully him in character. I don't think that that
Oh
was
yeah,
like if he said
it
that
was
for real,
just
then
so
oh my
funny.
god,
It
fucking Paul
caught me
Heyman's a
off
savage.
guard.
But
I was like, oh, okay.
I fully think that that was full. I fully think that that was in character. But if it wasn't, Paul, you're a fucking savage. Um, And and the reason why I think that's in character too is because I really don't think, or at least I
Well,
hope
yeah.
I don't think that he would wish Jimmy Hart death. Because that was
Also,
wild, man.
also his explanation for why he thinks he's the best, because he chose me. Why wouldn't he
Yeah.
choose the GOAT? I was like, ugh. I was like, that was simple, but ugh.
I mean, then he also wished Jimmy Hart to die on national television too, which is terrible. Which again, still think that that was character, but still, that was
If
bad.
that was real, well, Jimmy Hart, what did you do?
Yeah. my prayers, and Jimmy Hart's still alive, so that's why I think God doesn't really answer my prayers or something on that.
Yo.
But,
I gotta go
but
back
this
and
is a
rewatch
great
that
episode.
interview because goddamn.
Yeah, no, I'll probably watch that too after. But this is a great tag team match here. Jericho and Takeshita actually worked really well together, and obviously Sammy and Garcia, they really did some great stuff here too. So Garcia got Jericho into a Boston Crab. Takeshita then tried to break it up, but Guevara pulled him out of the ring. The referee then turned to admonish Guevara and Takeshita. With the referees back turned, Callis hit Garcia in the head with the baseball bat. Jericho then looked confused as to why Callis did this, but he covered Garcia and got the win 1, 2, 3. And Jericho and Takeshita picked up the win in the first match of Dynamite 200. So, obviously, you know, this is going into everything when it comes to the Don Callis family and Jericho. You know, Don Callis is trying to hoax Jericho into the family. This is all good here. Nothing too bad here. And honestly, at the end of the day, I saw this coming anyway. I did see a loss here for Sammy and Danny, but you know, this was a good way to go about it because it was, you know, by nefarious means.
I just thought about something. Raw 1000 took place. Fuck, what's math? 19 years.
I think it was 2013.
20.
That
It was July 23rd, 2012. That's what, 19 years after
2012.
93. Is that 19 years? Yeah, 19 years.
Yeah.
That means we won't get AEW 1000 until 2038.
God, I'll be old by then. I don't even want
Nick
to
Wayne will
think
be
about
there.
that, bro.
We know Nick Wayne will be there. He'll only be 36. he'll only be 36.
I'll be 40, bro. That is wild.
Shit, Phil, we might be there. Who knows? We might be there.
I might be in the fucking commentary booth at that point.
Bro, if I get there and Jericho is still there, I swear to fucking everything. I swear. He's 51
God
now.
damn it.
He will be 67. I think. No, that's 15 years from now. He'll be 64. If he is still wrestling on Dynamite, I swear to
It
God.
wouldn't shock me though, dude.
I gotta tell the group.
Me too. Yeah, he would be 68. Jericho.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
He was born in 1970. In 1938, he would be 78, bro. That's wild. And Corbin, that is low. That is low even for you, and I'm not even going to acknowledge that comment. Nate, if he watches this back and he sees that in the live chat replay, you are going to die. So it's not me. I'm not even saying
Oh my
it.
God!
But overall, though, this was a very, very good match to kick off the show. And after that, backstage, when Renee was trying to get word with Chris Jericho after everything that happened, Matt Menard told Chris Jericho that next week on Dynamite there will be a mandatory meeting with the Jericho Appreciation Society, and he is going to be there, like by forcing him, saying you will be there, and that was the end
I
of
think
that.
they're gonna
So
jump him. I think they're gonna jump Jericho.
Now, Don Callis has anything to say about it. I think Don Callis might find some more people to join the Don Callis family, and they'll have some sort of like old JAS versus new Don Callis family type war here, and we could get like a six
Oh,
man,
we're gonna get anarchy in the fucking arena, aren't we?
and we could get like some sort of like 6 man or like 8 man like tag team match or something where we can like just fucking go at it
I
with
meant
each
to
other.
say Stadium Stampede, also, not anarchy in the arena. I, she's the shortest reigning. It felt like she held that bitch for a long time.
I gotta look that up because I don't think that's right.
Then again, I'm so used to WWE ending title reigns after 1 hour that I mean,
I gotta look that up. Reigns.
she broke the record she set in 2022. That makes it worse. She broke her own record.
Toni Storm only held the championship for 76 days.
That's the shortest? Because she broke her own record,
Yeah. Wait.
apparently.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Well, wait. Oh, wait. No. Tony held the championship for 76 days in her first run. Toni Storm this run held it for 67. So yeah, that's actually the shortest reign.
Rollins won the title 2 days before her.
Well, she won
That's
the title at
wild.
double. Well, she won the title at Double or Nothing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's wow.
She won the title at Double or Nothing 2023 against Oh wait,
Hater,
what?
right?
Yeah, I think it had to have been Hater. Yeah, because yeah, it definitely had to have been Hater because Hater was the last champion and she squashed her in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, that
So,
shit was wild. She broke
well,
her own
because
record,
Jamie Hater
too.
was her and they needed a new champion, so they did that.
Oh, so something tells me Hater was just a transitional then. The only reason
Yeah,
she didn't lose before this is because it was Forbidden Door.
yeah, yeah, because Hater won the championship, um, because Hater won the championship back in November at Full Gear,
Mm.
and she lost it 190 days later. She had a good reign, 190
So
days
what's
as
the
champion.
longest reigning women's champion for
The
AEW?
longest reigning women's world
Is it Britt?
champion is Hikaru Shida at 372 days. She held
I
that
just
shit
keep
for over a
taking
year.
W's. I just keep taking W's tonight.
She held that shit for over a year at 372.
And she gonna hold this one
She
even
won that
longer.
shit back in May. She won that shit back at May of 2020. That was Double or Nothing. And she did
Mm-hmm.
not lose it until Dr. Britt Baker took it off of her on May 30th, 2021 at that Double or Nothing. So she held
God
it for
damn.
372 days. But yeah,
That's insane.
this was really good here. In the ring though, we saw Jungle Boy, or not Jungle Boy. Shit, nope, it's just Jack Perry now. That's gonna take some getting used to.
I hate how Jerry Lynn calls him Jungle. Not Jungle Boy, just Jungle. I hate that shit. Can we stop treating Jungle like it's his first fucking name? That should be
That's gonna
pissing me
take getting
off.
used to regardless. It's gonna take a little bit getting used to anyway. But Jack Perry, he was in the ring. He calls out Jerry Lynn. Lynn is out there. He said there isn't a doctor who would clear him, but I did call somebody who wrestled for ECW back in the day and who still wrestles to this very day. Then we heard a song that we have not heard in fucking forever, it seems like. This man
Mm.
comes out to what's the song freaking called, man?
Walk by
I know
Pantera.
Walk by Pantera. Yes. Dude, this song, when you think of it, you think RVD, you think of the ECW days, bro. This was fucking great. And Tony Khan continues to buy the rights to these songs. And it fits so well. He bought Killswitch Engage for Roddy Strong. Well, not Killswitch Engage. He bought a song from them for Roddy Strong. He bought the Final Countdown for Bryan Danielson. He bought Walk for RVD. Dude. Tony. I love you, bro. This was great. Now, obviously, TJ. Now, in my time of watching pro wrestling, I was not really, watching at the time of ECW in its prime. But that doesn't mean I don't do my homework, and that doesn't mean that I don't know how much ECW meant to the people that did watch that shit back then. I know this is special. I know that this is special when you see it. This is going to be a great thing for AEW having RVD in whatever capacity that he has them in, So RVD and AEW, give it to me. I love it.
Tay's about to hop in here because I forgot. I promised Shadow I would do his podcast last week. So before I head out, do you think RVD's winning that title next week? Because I am torn. Normally I would say obviously not, but Tony surprised me one too many times tonight, so I don't know what the fuck is life now. I can't say for certain.
Well,
but also, I feel like Taz might help Jack Perry win. It's something about the way Taz has been talking so much shit on commentary about him. I feel like Taz is gonna swerve us and help him win, like he did with Ricky Starks.
Because what RVD said in the promo backstage when he was talking to Renee, that if he wins this championship, he is basically going to retire the title.
Yeah, I was like,
he's retired the title before. So I'm like, the title isn't really technically even recognized by AEW in the first place. So if you just retire a championship that's not even technically recognized, I don't know what's going to happen. But okay. Thanks, TJ. I was just going to finish my thought. If he does win, I'm going to love it. If he doesn't win, I still like it because I like Jungle Boy. I like Jack Perry, so it's going to be fine. But yeah, I'm torn too. But RVD in AEW, I'm fine with it, bro. How are you,
So,
How are you?
what I miss?
We're getting into the RVD situation, man. RVD's in AEW.
Yes, I love it. I love it. The fact that man can still like do fucking high flying moves at his age is just. They do moves like he's 20. Yeah, that's the Jungle Boy or Jack
Man.
Perry.
It's gonna be great.
RVD. It's gonna be a solid match, I think.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. And
the question is, who
man, I
wins
think
that?
this is that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I don't care honestly who wins. If RVD wins and basically retires the FTW title, I'm fine with it. But if Jack Perry beats RVD, I'm cool with it too. I'm actually just personally happy that this is not happening at All In, and it's just happening next week on Dynamite because I don't think that this is an All In match.
It's not. I love RVD.
So
it's not.
yeah, so I'm glad that it's happening next week on Dynamite and not All In.
That's not at all. Yeah.
So that's perfectly fine there. So we then had a pre-taped interview with Hikaru Shida. She said that she is going to beat Toni Storm tonight. Storm then said that Shida was the best at the time she held the title, but now we have the Outcast, and she is going to beat Shida tonight. Then we got into the Anything Goes 3-way match between Jon Moxley, Penta, El Zero Miedo, and Trent Baretta. This was a fucking car crash.
That was that damn table spot was Moxley went to 2 tables. Holy fuck nuggets.
Dude, I had to ask you a question, and I had to ask the people in the chat this question because at the end of the day, I am just trying to figure something out. Didn't we just talk, or didn't reports just came out of a list of things that need to be approved by Tony Khan and management when it comes to blood, barbed wire, insane spots, all that deal?
Yes, they did.
Didn't that just happen?
Maybe this is just something improved. I don't know.
I guess it just does not fucking apply to John Moxley matches because fuck the rules.
What now?
Like, huh?
Josh.
Josh!
Hornball.
But I'm just saying this at the end of the day. Fuck the rules when it comes to John Moxley and his matches, man, because you're just gonna see whatever.
I guess this is something improved. I don't know. Unless John Moxley got special privileges, I don't know.
I mean,
You think that?
it was a great triple threat. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, it was.
They call it three-way matches, guys. That's what they call it. They don't call it triple threat. So if that's what you're saying the Freaky Frogs for, or I'm feeling horny right now, bro, that's what they call it in AEW. They call it three-way.
Treyway.
They don't call it triple threat. They don't call it triple threat. But this is actually surprising though, because Trent Baretta won the thing.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that.
That was surprising.
I thought John was gonna win this thing hands down. but this is good though, because Moxley gave Penta DDT. Baretta gave Moxley a knee strike and just pinned Penta for the win. I wasn't referring to that, but good to know. Listen, then I don't know what you're calling us freaky frogs for.
I think he was talking about
it's-
Josh's comment about being horny.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Regardless, what do you think about the triple threat, man? I'm just gonna call it triple threat. That way, people don't say anything at the goddamn freaky. Triple threat though, very very good. It was a very good match.
I enjoyed it. Like you said, it was a fucking car crash, but in a good way. In a good way. Lots of crazy spots. Of course, there was blood because Moxley. Um, the table spots were crazy as hell. All of these spots, man, it's just very good match. Very good match. Surprising winner though. Like Triple Baretta winning was very surprising.
But yeah, this was good here. So yeah, after the match, Claudio Wheeler, they start to make their way to the ring, but Orange Cassidy comes out of nowhere, with Chuck Taylor, and they just started brawling in the ring. Taylor challenged the BCC to a parking lot brawl at AEW Rampage, which is going to be happening at Daly's place. So, they called back to their parking lot brawl, with the best friends. They had that, on an episode of Dynamite. I forget against who, but they had that parking lot brawl at the Daly's place, and it was fantastic when that Dynamite aired. So you're calling back to that, to one of the episodes of Dynamite, and they're gonna have a parking lot brawl in Daly's place again, bro. So that's gonna be cool. Will I see it? Probably not, because it's Rampage. But it should be cool nonetheless.
I think this Rampage is live though. The best Rampage episodes are the ones that are live.
If it is live, I might see it. If it is live, I might watch. But if it's not,
in Tampa tonight, and they're gonna be in Jacksonville on Friday, which is what a day this place is. So I'm assuming it's live.
Okay, so if it is a live Rampage, then I might actually, just check it out because of that match. So yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Backstage, RVD then challenged Jack Perry to a match next week for the FTW Championship. He said in the past he inflates the championship and then he basically wins the championship and then technically retires it after. So he might retire the FTW Championship if he wins it next week on Dynamite.
Also,
So
can we talk about how faded he was? 'Cause he was definitely hot. He was definitely high off his.
yeah, he definitely
He
he
been hanging
definitely
around
might have
Matt Riddle
had
too
something.
much. Been
He
hanging around
definitely
Matt
might have
Riddle too
had
much.
something for sure. Um,
Oh, you can tell.
but but yeah, this was but he's gonna have the FTW title match next week on Dynamite. Should be good there. Um, in the ring, we now see MJF, and MJF is out here. He says that he suffers from attention deficit disorder, ADD. And guys,
Hey, I have ADHD,
we
so we're kind of the same.
we got an ADD chant on Dynamite tonight. The
That is
only place,
an ADD chant in 2023 is crazy.
where you can get an ADD chant is in AEW. I'm telling you right now, and it being a good thing,
Yeah,
Um, MJF then went off script saying, "Hey, I wish my teachers felt the same way," but which I thought was very comedic at that
he's not
time.
wrong because
But
yeah, because I have something similar, and yeah, they don't give a fuck.
but yeah, no. So he said with this disorder, he also suffers from rejection sensitive disorder. So he can't regulate rejection based emotions or behaviors. He's been bullied, abused, cheated on, lied to, battered, and beaten up, and he's blocked most of it all. But he does remember the day when kids walked up to him with their hands filled with rolls of quarters and threw them as hard as they could and said, "Pick him up, Jew boy."
That was a hate crime.
And this is real, man. This is like legit real stuff that's happened to him in the past. So,
That is a
um,
hate. That is a hate crime.
yeah, so like this is like legit here too. Um he can still feel the sensation of the quarters hitting his skin. Uh he thought at this point everybody is evil and if he wanted to survive, he had to stab everybody in the back before they stabbed him. He knew he now knows that that's not the way to live because he ended up becoming one of them and because of that, he became a scumbag. He knows it's easy to get the crowd to hate him, but it's hard to be vulnerable. He knows if he opened up as Max to the crowd that they would boo and they would boo him, it would kill him inside because it would bring him back to the kid getting quarters thrown at him. He's not scared anymore, and that's because of them, the AEW crowd. He they taught him that that they do care about Max, and he said that he is not going to change overnight. He is still going to be a scumbag. We all know that, but he is our scumbag.
You're a
and then
scumbag.
and then the
You're a
and then the
scumbag.
crowd started to chant, "You're our scumbag," and then he's like, "I'm your what? You're our
You're a
scumbag. I'm
scumbag.
your what?" And he's like, and they were just playing it off very, very good there. Um, so, uh, So the person who taught him that living with hate in his heart is not the way to live, and that he does deserve a friend, is Adam Cole.
Baby.
Cole then said, Cole came out there because MJF introduced Adam Cole to the crowd. He said that MJF impresses him more and more every day, and he told him that he is not alone in the fight. For years, he was also a jerk because he was scared and did not understand what a man was. And Max is now becoming the man that he is always supposed to be. The fans want to cheer Max, and they know deep down that there is a good person inside of him. MJF said that he called him out here because he promised him a match for the World Championship, win, lose, or draw after their World Tag Team title match at AEW Collision. He then said, "You know what? Now you don't deserve a match." And Adam Cole's like, "What? Max, what are you talking about? Don't do this, Max. What are you talking about?" He taught him, he thought about it, and he came to the conclusion that he doesn't deserve a match. He deserves the match. He deserves a match at Wembley Stadium in front of the biggest crowd in AEW history at All In. He handed him a contract. He said, "Sign it." Cole signed it without even looking, mind you, and they hugged in the middle of the ring as they showed the graphic on the Trons. Now, there's a lot of missed things that people might not have noticed. Adam Cole signed the contract, yes, but he signed the contract without even looking. So, that's something that people need to look at. Then, during their hug, I don't know if you caught this, but during the hug, and Adam Cole put a fist to the shoulder blade of MJF, basically stabbing him in the back. There are these subtle things here that people might not pick up until the point you watch it back. So go check that video back and check those little subtle details in this segment, because there's some things that you could miss in the midst of it all. So watch it back, and I want to ask you now, D, how do you feel about this, man? Because I felt that this was way too good to be true up until the point where I watched that back and saw those subtle differences or details.
I mean, I also think it's too good to be true. But also, the match being All In, as I don't buy it as being the main event. I'm sorry. I love this. Like, I love Adam Cole and MJF, but main eventing a show like that, I don't know.
Oh, I do. I think this is a perfect way to main event the show. I do. I think this is going to be great. And honestly, at the end of the day, when it comes to Cole signing the contract but not looking at it, a singles match between those two is going to be great as a main event, right? But there has to be a stipulation somewhere, shape, or form when it comes to this. So, I think there's a stipulation that Cole did not realize when he was signing the contract, and that is what we are going to be building towards over the next few weeks. Because I do think the turn is happening with over the next few weeks here, and the stipulation will be added. Because singles match at All In, cool. But a singles match with a stipulation between these two former friends that are going to turn into bitter enemies, that's what can main event All In. I think there's got to be a stipulation somewhere in this.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
So, and we did not cover that yet, dude, but I do want to talk about that Mogul Embassy Nick Wayne situation, because that did everything that it needed to do, and I loved everything about it. So we'll get there in just a sec.
We really witnessed a murder on live TV. and no one said it.
Yeah, no, that was bad. That looked
No one
bad.
said anything. You watched the man get murdered. No one said anything.
You know, that looked bad, but you know, that was great, and it did everything it needed to do. So in the back though, after all of this happened, when they were celebrating that the match is happening, and you got the graphic on the Trons, Roderick Strong looked very upset. He was seething, and you know, about the whole MJF and Adam Cole situation. And Mike Bennett and Matt Taven, the Kingdom, walk up, and they told Strong that Cole always forgets about his real friends, and then they walk off. Is Roderick Strong going to join the Kingdom, or am I reading a little bit too much into this?
I mean, I don't know if you recall, but he has history with the Kingdom. When they were in Ring of Honor, there used to be a faction. So he could be joining. They could recreate that faction, but with Roderick Strong to get back at Adam Cole.
Could we see
I don't know.
Could we see Roderick Strong, you know, interfere at All In and cost Cole the title?
It could happen. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It depends on how the build up between MJF and Adam Cole is. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And guys, we all knew that this was going to happen. We all knew that this was where it was going to happen anyway. We all knew that it was going to be MJF and Adam Cole for the AEW World Championship. So happening at All In, I'm cool with it. But whether there's a stipulation or not, it's going to be the main event. I think it's going to be a great thing regardless. So I love it. Can't wait to see what they do when it comes to that. We then had the Elite and Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks take on Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, and Satnam Singh. And this is as good as it was probably going to get, you know.
It was very.
The Elite won this thing. Obviously, the Elite won this thing, but it was okay for what it was. I mean, Satnam Singh could still barely walk in the ring, but he's a lot more. I will say this: he's more tolerable than the Great Khali. I said what I said. Jay Lethal is Jay Lethal. And JEFFJARRETT is Jeff Jarrett.
Ain't it great?
Great Khali better? I don't know. I mean, the man held the World Heavyweight Championship upside down, bro. So I don't know if you can really call that better. Just plain? Okay, good. Okay. But this is as good as it was going to get when it comes to this match. I mean, this was very random, but the Elite had to win because they just re-signed with the company. So, this was a very overbooked ending, though, I will say, with, you know, with Karen Jarrett getting involved, with Sanjay Dutt getting involved, then Hangman coming out of nowhere because Hangman wasn't even out there with the Bucks, and Kenny, you know, just to hit the Buck shot and everything like that. It was a very overbooked ending, but the Elite did the Elite thing and they were cool. So Omega hits Singh with a V trigger. Karen Angle, not Angle, Jesus, Karen Jarrett.
I don't think.
Wasn't it? It was Karen Angle.
It was.
Up until it wasn't anymore. Yeah, it was Karen Angle up until the point where it wasn't. Karen Jarrett was up on the ring apron, which distracted the referee. Dutton came into the ring and clipped Omega. Cutler then sprayed Karen in the eyes with the cold spray. And she screamed bloody murder because of that. Dutton hit Cutler. Matt and Jeff Hardy, for whatever reason, I might have missed something. But the Hardys ran down to attack Dutt. Jeff then went for their guitar shot. That's Jeff Jarrett, not Hardy. And he missed. Adam Page then gave Jeff Jarrett a buckshot lariat. Lethal then went to hit Omega with the guitar, but Omega dunked it and hit him with a V trigger, and then a one-winged angel for the win, and the Elite pick up the W on Dynamite 200. So this was all over the place here. The Hardys made no fucking sense, so I might have missed something. Did you see anything, or was this just the Hardys' just random appearance?
The only thing I can recall was that Battle Royal on Rampage where they eliminated Satnam.
Okay. Okay. Because I might have just missed something, but it is what it is. But yeah, the Elite won here. After this, they basically announced that Page and the Elite signed with AEW. They re-signed with them. They gave them extensions and everything like that, which is a W for everybody involved. And good stuff there, At the end of the day, the Elite staying in AEW was probably the best decision for them.
Yep.
So, backstage, you see AR Fox. He said that if Darby Allin was so close to him, why didn't he thank him when he was in AEW? Darby called him for 5 years up until the point where they saw each other backstage. He's now going to take away everything that he gave him. They showed a clip of Swerve and AR Fox going to the Buddy Wayne Academy, and they basically just killed Nick Wayne on national television. They attacked him. They, put him into a bloody pulp, and it was just nasty to look at, bro. But I will say this. This video package and the way that they presented Swerve and Fox here, this was the best thing that Swerve has done the entire time that he's been in AEW. This was done perfectly. I loved it. It did everything it needed to do. It was personal, and it was impactful. This did everything it needed to do.
I agree. It makes them look like badasses.
And I'm telling you right now, man, the Mogul Embassy, we all probably, just shat on it in the past, like, what the hell is this? Swerve being a part of the embassy with, Prince Nana and the Gates of Agony or whatever. Like, it made no sense. But I'm telling you right now, this group could be something. If the powers that be, that being Tony Khan and the rest of the AEW executives and, the higher-ups here, if they want to make this group something, they can. Because Swerve is that damn good, bro. He is.
Yes,
and we all know
yes,
he is. So, if the powers that be actually want the Mogul Embassy to be something, especially now with AR Fox being a part of it, give them the ball and let them run with it. Because they could do something.
Yep.
Because this right here is exactly the way I want to see the Mogul Embassy run throughout the rest of the time. Throughout the rest of the time of their existence, as a faction, trio, whatever. This is the way I want to see them be presented. Because this was perfect. It had everything that it needed to have. So, I want it to be just like this from now on. Because Swerve is that good, and he needs to be presented more like this.
Yes. But once again, I reiterate, what the absolute fuck happened to Keith Lee and Swerve?
Oh, that's done. I'm not even gonna worry about that anymore. We shouldn't even worry about that anymore because it's done. Don't even worry about it anymore, bro. It's done.
It's crazy.
But yeah, I thought this was perfect. I thought this was fantastic. I will say though that it was a little bit uncomfortable to watch when it comes to Nick Wayne because I actually have met the kid before and I did not expect him to bleed that much.
He was bleeding like
It was a little bit uncomfortable, but
John Moxley was backstage just punching the air with how much he was bleeding.
it made sense for him to, for him to be busted open in that spot. Yes, but damn, that was a little bit uncomfortable.
He went to the John Moxley school of bleeding.
Yeah, that was wild. But this was really good, and this was the best thing that this was the best thing that Swerve did this entire time. We then had the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles on the line as Aussie Open. Yeah, buddy, Aussie Open. I saw them at the Collision taping because they did some tapings for Ring of Honor and they had a tag team match. Fantastic. They're great to see live, and they're great here against Komander and El Hijo del Vikingo. They retained the titles, obviously, did Aussie Open here, but this was a very good tag team match. How'd you feel about it?
I thought it was a pretty good match. Vikingo still impresses me. I don't know how the fuck he does this. I don't know how the fuck he does what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, this match is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, no, this was great.
Aussie.
Oi, 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 baby. Let's go. But yeah, they're fantastic. I mean, Vikingo, I got to see him live at the Collision taping for the Ring of Honor stuff. Like you said, I mean, he's just absolutely insane. And he's even more insane live because I mean, dude, I was basically on the floor for the tapings of Ring of Honor or the second tapings of Ring of Honor where he was, wrestling at. And it was insane, just seeing him perform in the way that he does. And Komander was on that second, part of the tapings as well for Ring of Honor, and I actually got to meet the guy. Fantastic, by the way. Commander's great.
Nice.
But yeah, this was a great tag team match here. Aussie Open did retain, and this was very good to see here on Dynamite. So Vikingo and Komander both came off the top rope with a 450 splash onto Mark Davis, but Fletcher broke up the pin. Komander then missed a shooting star press on Davis, and Davis gave Komander an enziguri. Fletcher then tagged in. Davis and Fletcher then gave a clothesline from the front and a clothesline to the back of his neck. They dropped Komander on his neck for basically the win. I don't even know what their finisher move is called. I wish I did, but if anybody does know that finisher's name, give it to me in the chat. And they win 1, 2, 3, and they retain the tag team titles. So they get a win there, and all is good there when it comes to Ring of Honor. I gotta get better at watching Ring of Honor, man, because apparently Ring of Honor's gotten a lot better.
Same.
Than just the 12 matches that they just randomly put out there. Apparently, it's gotten a lot better.
I'm trying to. I need to get better too. I've been slacking.
It's just that, like, since it's on Watch ROH.com or whatever the Honor Club thing is, I just don't see myself coming home every Thursday night after work and just pulling out my computer and just go to Honor Club to just watch an episode of Ring of Honor. I just don't see myself doing that. But if I do want to get content, I guess Ring of Honor is an okay thing to do. Plus, Impact's on Thursdays too, so what one you want to watch,
Yeah.
But then again, I don't even have the channel for Impact, so I'd have to do the same thing.
I used to, but I can't watch it anymore because I've got the channel no more. Because YouTube TV sucks.
So I mean, I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. But Ring of Honor, from what I know, is getting a lot better than just the 12 random matches that they just put on a show, and it's all good and said there. But it is what it is. Um, we then had the Women's World Championship main event the show tonight. Um, I didn't think it was going to main event the show. It's usually the 9:30 out. It's usually the 9:30 spot, the women.
I was
But they
blown
gave them
when
the
that.
main event tonight. It's
I
cool.
was blown when 8:30 hit.
Huh?
I was blown when 8:30 hit. Well, it's 8:30 for me. I was blown like, wait, where's the women? Where's the women? It's main event.
Yeah. But they gave him the main event spot tonight. And this was good. This is honestly a very good match between Shida and Toni for the women's world title. And not only that, but we got a new women's world champion as well. Which shocked the fuck out of me. I don't know about you, but it shocked the fuck out of me.
I was
Um,
flabbergasted.
but yeah, this is really, really good here. And that's not like, here's the thing. When I say that a match for the women is really, really good in AEW, and I'm not even trying to be a dick, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. That's great. That's great that the women got a main event spot on AEW television, and that was a really good match between the two. It is.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Like all power to Toni Storm and Shida for getting that main event spot and getting a good match out of it. So Shida threw in a kendo stick. Storm and Shida both. Saraya threw in the kendo stick. My bad. And Shida and Storm both grabbed it, but Shida got it away from Storm. Shida then threatened to hit Storm with it, but the referee told her not to use it, obviously, because that would be a DQ, and you would not win the title that way. Soho then got onto the ring apron, and Shida hit her with the kendo stick, so it was Ruby Soho. It's not a DQ. So Shida then threw down the kendo stick. When the referee turned around to pick it up and get it out of the ring, Storm then sprayed Shida in the eye with the spray can. Storm then went for a pin, but only for a 2 count. Storm then went for a sunset flip, but Shida reversed it, and she got the pinfall win 1-2-3. And we have a new AEW Women's World Champion in Hikaru Shida. We saw confetti fly out of cannons and everything like that. There was like this new nameplate of Hikaru Shida becoming a 2-time AEW Women's World Champion. We ended Dynamite 200 on a very, very high note and a very happy note, having Shida win the championship as it faded to black. So good stuff. I was shocked about it because I didn't expect it to happen, but it was very good. I loved it.
Indeed.
Now, what does this mean for All In? Because Jamie Hayter, we did get confirmation that she will not be able to be in any capacity at the All In show, which sucks for her because I know that was a very, very big moment for her. And she's just not even going to be able to make it, which sucks, and I actually really do feel bad for her about that. Do we get a rematch at All In with Toni and Shida?
I have a feeling.
Yeah, I mean, it only makes sense, right? Considering we're only 3 weeks away.
But also, I don't know why, but I think it's gonna happen considering it's a home fucking country. Saraya and Shida for the women's title.
Saraya and Shida. That honestly I could possibly see. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They have to let Jamie cut a promo or something. I would hope, man. I actually hope that she does actually, make the trip. It's just that she's just not going to be wrestling. We know she's not going to be wrestling. We don't know if she's not going to be able to make the trip, but I hope she does because it was a big moment for her, and I know she wanted to be a part of it in some way, so hopefully they do something with her. She just won't be able to wrestle.
Yes.
But yeah, Shida got the championship tonight. We'll see what happens over the next 3 weeks, because 3 weeks and we're at All In, man. 3 weeks and we're in London. So they gotta do something. They gotta do something quick, because we got a new champion. And I'm not gonna say it didn't make any sense, but I'm just very shocked that they went about it and got a new champion tonight, because I didn't expect it. So whatever they have planned over the next 3 weeks better be something.
I guess we'll see.
Because now, because with Adam Cole and MJF happening at All In, we only have one match. We only have one match for All In. So, Toni, we were promised tonight that we would get matches announced for All In. We only got one.
You know how Tony Khan is. He does this for every pay per view. He waits until like a week before to announce the matches. He does that every time.
But dude, I want to know what I'm paying for. Not, I'm speaking in a general AEW term, like context, where
I've seen
general
Buddy
AEW
Ray.
fan.
I've seen
General
Buddy Ray make this tweet where he said they shouldn't announce the match at all. Just let it be a surprise. Like, so that means when you're interested in,
Dude, I don't give a shit what Bully Ray has to say. I heard that Bully Ray statement. It's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't announce any matches. You just have somebody go out there and you just don't know their opponent. I want to know what I'm paying for. And I'm speaking in a general sense, for like a general AEW fan, like a casual AEW fan. I want to know what I'm paying for. If I'm going to be paying for the show, I want to know what I'm paying for. I could give a shit what Bully Ray said. I actually watched that podcast episode where he said that. And yes, it does build intrigue. Yes, you already have 70,000 plus in the arena. We know that. But for the people that want to watch this shit at home, I want to know what I'm buying.
I feel you.
Because, dude, then after that, we have another pay-per-view a week after.
I don't understand why he did that, but yeah.
I don't know either, and I don't, and I know from, people that I've talked to, that Tony Khan really did try to get a bundle out there for us fans. He wanted to get a bundle for us, but apparently Bleacher Report, the BR Live app and everything like that, and traditional pay-per-views don't allow bundles to happen. So he tried.
Well, they won't be getting $100 out of us, out of me at least.
So he tried to do a bundle for us, because shouting out $120 with fees maybe for 2 pay-per-views in a week is outrageous, and we know this. He tried to get a bundle, but it was just not going to be possible. So if you're gonna watch both, maybe split it with friends or do something. But or there are other nefarious means out there. I mean, we all know them.
Yep.
But I mean, it is what it is, man. Obviously, because I do this podcast, I'm watching both shows. But I'm gonna have to do it in nefarious means, because I can't shout out $120, bro. I just can't. I'm trying to make ends meet as it is. I think we all are in this crazy world. But guys, it was a very, very special episode of Dynamite tonight, with 200 episodes going in. And it was just a very, very special night. So I loved it all. We get Cole and MJF in the main event of All In, and matches will be announced. It's just, TK. He loves doing this. So we haven't matched for All Out, but we just got our first match announced for All In tonight. I don't know. It is what it is. But guys, we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you on Friday for the Friday Night SmackDown post show. You guys might see an extra for Thursday. And I'll talk to you guys when I talk to you. Do you have anything else to say before we get the hell out of here?
Follow me on TikTok, NBA Taylor 2.0, NBA TikTok Wrestling. Subscribe to the YouTube. Get your official hornball merch from the MVP. Site.
You made that merch. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that
Yes, the merch has been made. It's on the MVP merch shop, so go buy it. And tell your friend
what's the merch shop though? Like what?
You gotta ask TJ.
What's the merch shop though? Like what is it? Like Teespring?
I think it's Teespring. I think so.
It is Teespring. We'll figure it out though. But yeah, I got Teespring. I think everybody basically has Teespring. So if it is Teespring, then it is. So we'll see what happens. But thank you guys so much for joining us right here on OTB episode 400. And we'll see you for episode 401, which will be the Friday Night SmackDown post show right here on OTB. Talk to you guys soon. Have a good rest of the night. Stay safe. God bless. And peace. Thank you guys so much for being in the chat tonight.